Welcome to today's broadcast of Carroll High School Athletics. This is CSBN, the Carroll Sports Broadcasting Network, the worldwide leader in Charger sports. Now, here are your Carroll Chargers.
Welcome to Carroll Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports. I'm Chris Sheedy, and I will be calling today's game between the Norwell Knights and your Carroll Chargers from the Dean R. Gorsuch Athletic Complex at Carroll High School. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for opening pitch.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back. On the mound for your Chargers is number 20, Trevor Snyder, and up to bat for the Knights is number 3, Brandon Birch. Snyder sets, goes into his windup, pitch, ball one low. Snyder back on the mound, the windup. Birch fouls one off to the backstop. That'll even the count up at 1-1. Snyder goes into his windup, fires, ball just off the outside corner. Puts Birch ahead at 2-1. Snyder winds up, fires, shot up the middle to Nichols at short, fires to Meals at first for the first out of the game. Up next for the Knights is number 2, Alex Hunter. Snyder takes his place on the mound, goes into the windup. First pitch to Hunter, swing and a miss. Snyder's taking his time on the mound, steps on. Wind up, pitch, wind into center field to Alex Barkis, who gets under it and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Snyder working quickly, getting 2 quick outs to begin the game, as number 13, Reggie Hayes, is up for the Knights. Snyder steps onto the mound, shakes off the sign, fires, ball one low. Snyder winds up, pitch, high, ball 2. Snyder's down the count at 2 balls with no strikes as he goes into the lineup for the third pitch. Fires, looks to be off the outside corner. That'll put Hayes up 3-0. He'll be taken here unless he gets one that he likes. Snyder winds up, pitch, ball 4 as Hayes runs down to first. Knights' first base runner of the game as number 25, Jordan Higgins, steps up to the plate. Snyder goes into the stretch, checks the runner, sets, fires, strike 1 to Higgins. Toes the rubber, looks in for the sign from Lewis, checks the runner at first, sets, checks, fires, and soft ground ball down the third base line goes foul. Put Snyder ahead at no balls and 2 strikes, and he'll look to put Higgins away here. Steps on. Sets. Fires. Hayes running on the pitch. Lewis throws down to second in the dirt. Hayes is safe. That'll be a stolen base for him. Snyder steps onto the rubber, sets the pitch, Curveball in the dirt, stopped by Lou, so even the count up at 2-2. Snyder looks in for the sign. Sets, delivers, and swing and a miss for Higgins. And going into the bottom half of the first inning with the score tied 0-0, and Carroll's coming to bat. This is CSBN.
This is CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back in the bottom half of the first. On the mound for the Knights is number 2, Alex Hunter. And leading off for your Chargers is number 2, Sam Williams. Hunter goes into the windup. First pitch. Williams takes for ball 1. Hunter's not very big. He's only 5'6". Second pitch to Williams. Breaking ball off the outside plate for ball 2. Winds up for the third pitch. Williams hits a shot into center field. And that'll be a leadoff single for Sam Williams. Up next for the Chargers is number 15, Keegan Nichols. He'll be looking to advance Williams. Nichols gets the signs from third base coach and steps into the box. Hunter's in the stretch. Checks the runner, sets. Pickoff attempt. Williams gets back easily. Hunter steps back on the rubber. Sets. Fires. Nichols shows bunt but pulls back as he takes ball 1. Hunter toes the rubber as Nichols steps into the box. Sets. Fires. Showing bunt again. Takes ball 2. Hunter steps on the rubber, checks Williams at first. Fires. Nichols does not show bunt, but takes ball 3 up. Count is 3-0 in favor of Nichols. Hunter will try to fight back and get a strike. Fourth pitch, fourth ball as Nichols jogs down to first and Williams advances to second. Up next for the Chargers is number 28, Matt Kent. Catcher Logan Detmer having a quick talk with his pitcher as Kent steps into the box. Hunter sets, checks both runners, fires as Kent takes ball 1 outside. Hunter's been showing some signs of not really having any control of his pitches so far. So his next pitch to Kent, in there for a strike. We'll even the count up at 1-1. Hunter steps back on the mound. Looks for the sign, sets, checks Williams at second. Fires as Kent slaps one through the hole as Williams rounds third, and he goes halfway but pulls back, and that'll load up the bases with another single by Matt Kent. Bases are loaded for number 20, Trevor Snyder, with still no outs. We'll see if Hunter can try and work out of a jam or if the Chargers can capitalize on this opportunity and get some runs across the plate. Hunter steps on the mound. Fires to Snyder, ball 1. Hunter steps back on, sets, delivers, ball 2 outside. He has no control of his pitches right now. He's thrown 1 strike so far. Hunter delivers. Snyder takes a big swing but does not connect, and that'll make the count 2-1. Runners take their leads as Hunter sets, delivers, ball 3, low and outside. Hunter in danger of walking in the game's first run as he's down 3-1 to Trevor Snyder. Hunter sets on the mound. Delivers. Pop up to the third base side. And it is hauled in by the third baseman as the runners will have to hold, and that is the first out of the first inning for the Chargers. Next up for the Chargers is number 11, Luke Brunner, and he'll be looking to drive in the runs for the Chargers as he's still got runners on every base as Hunter trying to work his way out of the jam. Players get the signs from their coaches as Brunner steps into the box. Hunter steps onto the mound. Sets. Fires. Brunner takes a big swing but can't connect on it. Brunner is batting on the left side, one of the few lefty hitters for the Chargers, as Hunter delivers. And Brunner takes strike 2. That'll put him down 0-2 as Hunter seems to regain some of his control that he didn't show at the beginning of the inning as he steps on the rubber. Brunner's trying to protect. Delivers. And breaking ball outside is the first ball of the at-bat. Count is 1-2 as Hunter sets. Delivers as Brunner hits a shot down the first baseline, and Sam Williams will score as all the runners advance 1 base, and that'll be the first run of the game for the Chargers. Up for the Chargers now is number 5, Alex Bartkus. He'll be looking to advance the remaining runners on each base. As Bartkus steps in and Hunter takes the sign. Excuse me. Delivers as Bartkus hits a slow roller to second base. Second baseman bobbles it. Might have lost track of it when Brunner ran by him. All runners will be safe as Nichols comes in to score the second run of the game for the Chargers. And coming up to bat for the Chargers now is number 23, Matt Meals, who will be the third batter in a row to come up to bat with the bases loaded. Hunter sets, fires Meals, ball high. Chargers have been doing a good job putting the bat on the ball and have gotten 3 singles so far in the inning as Hunter delivers to Meals, who fouls one off out of play behind the Charger dugout. That'll even the count up at 1-1. Hunter steps on the rubber, sets, fires as Meal fouls another one off behind the backstop. That'll put him down 1-2. Still only 1 out in the inning. Meals looking not to become the second one as Hunter delivers. Meals fights off a breaking pitch to the shortstop, who fires as gets him by half a step, but he does drive in the third run of the game for the Chargers. And up next for the Chargers is the catcher, number 7, Lane Lewis. First pitch to Lewis is in there for a strike. He's got Luke Brunner on third and Alex Bartkus on second. Hunter sets. Delivers. Ball 1, low and outside. Hunter's throwing a lot of pitches in this inning. He might be starting to get tired. He steps on the rubber. Delivers, and ball 2 low in the dirt. Willis steps back into the box. Count is 2-1 as Hunter sets. Fires as Lewis fouls one off to the backstop. That'll even the count up at 2-2. We're looking to protect and drive in these last 2 runners that are on base for the Chargers. Hunter delivers as Lewis pops one up out of play. Count remains at 2-2 with 2 outs for the Chargers. Runners on second and third. The Chargers already lead 3-0 after tacking on 3 runs early in the first inning. Hunter checks the sign. Delivers. Ball 3 high. That'll fill the count at 3-2. He's going to have to give. Excuse me. Hunter sets. Delivers and strike 3 looking. And at the end of the first inning, the Chargers are leading the Knights 3-0. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. You're listening to CSBN.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back. At the top of the second inning, leading off the inning for the Norwell Knights is number 6, James Sparrow, as Trevor Snyder remains on the mound. His first pitch to Sparrow, ball 1 low. Snyder sets, goes into the windup, fires as Sparrow hits a liner up the middle. Nichols and Carpenter can't get it, and that'll be the first hit of the game for the Knights. Up next for the Knights is number 5, Nathan Allison. Snyder in the stretch, checks the runner, fires, first pitch strike. Snyder steps back onto the mound, checks the runner, pickoff attempt, no good, runner is safe. Snyder steps back onto the mound. Sets, fires as Allison hits a fly ball into center field. Alex Marcus about lost it in the sun, but hung on for the first out of the inning for the Knights. It's a very sunny day here at the Charger Baseball Stadium, so it's understandable if he's having a little trouble seeing it in the sun. Up next for the Knights is number 21, Logan Detmer. Snyder sets, delivers, ball 1 as Lane attempts to pick Spirit off at first, but gets back in safely. Snyder sets, pickoff attempt. No good as Meals applies the tag. Knights trail 3-0 to the Chargers with 1 out in the top of the second. Snyder pitches to Detmer, who hits a deep fly ball to left field as Luke Brunner makes the catch and gets the ball back into the infield for the second out of the inning for the Knights. Up next for the Knights is number 11, Zach McGrew. Snyder sets, delivers, first pitch, ball outside. Snyder sets and delivers, line drive, just out of reach for the second baseman, Brett Carpenter. That'll be a 2-out. Error by Carpenter at second. Had it in his glove, but it couldn't hang on as he hit the ground. That'll leave 2 runners on base for number 10, Thomas Elliott. He'll try and start a 2-out rally for the Knights. as Snyder sets on the mound and delivers. First pitch outside. Snyder goes into the stretch. Sets as the runners take their leads. First pitch, swing, and a miss. That'll even the count up at 1-1. Snyder toes the rubber. Checks the sign from Lewis. Sets. Fires and got him on an off-speed pitch as Elliott chased in the dirt, but Lane Lewis was able to keep the ball in front of him, holding the runners at first and second. Snyder steps back onto the rubber. Eyes the sign. Taking a long time to check the sign. Steps off the rubber. Snyder steps back on. Looks in. Sets. Pitch. And sharp ground ball hits the runner. That is the third out of the inning, and heading into the bottom of the second inning with the score 3-0, and Carroll is coming to bat. This is CSBN.
This is CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back. Leading off the bottom of the second inning for the Chargers is number 12, Corey McCray. Alex Hunter remains on the mound for the Knights, despite having a rough first inning, giving up 3 runs. Hunter's first pitch to McCray, ball 1 high. Hunter steps back onto the mound, goes into his windup, second pitch, ball 2 high. Puts McCray ahead at 2-0 as McCray steps back, Hunter steps back onto the mound, delivers third pitch, and it's in the zone for a strike. McCray is the number 9 hitter in the order, so the Chargers will be at the top of the order in this inning. Hunter's next pitch is fouled off behind the Charger dugout, evening the count up at 2-2. McCray steps in as Hunter sets, wind up, and the pitch. Line drive to the right fielder. Could not get down as the right fielder got over and caught it for the first out of the inning. Up next for the Chargers is the top of the order, starting with Sam Williams, who singled and scored in his first at bat. Hunter sets and goes into his windup. Pitch. Williams takes the first pitch for ball 1. Hunter steps back onto the mound, winds up, and second pitch is in the zone for a strike, evening it up at 1-1. Hunter with next pitch. Ball 1 just outside the zone. That'll put Williams ahead at 2-1. 1 out in the inning. Chargers are up 3-0. Hunter's next pitch to Williams. Ball 3 high. Williams is ahead in the count at 3-1. Be looking for a pitch to hit. Next pitch. Williams thought it was a ball, but it's called a strike, and that will even the count up at 3-2. Hunter's next pitch to Williams, fouled off as the at-bat continues. Full count, so Williams is trying to protect anything that is remotely close to the plate. As Hunter steps back on the mound. Fires as Williams hits a deep shot down the left field line, and it goes foul. That would have likely been 2 bases, maybe even 3, depending on how well the left fielder played it. Nonetheless, we're back where we were at 3-2. Hunter winds up in the pitch as Williams fouls another one off as the at-bat continues. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Hunter steps back onto the mound. Delivers as Williams hits one over by the Norwell dugout, and the third baseman cannot get to it. Another foul ball as Williams and the Hunters battle continues. Hunter steps back onto the mound. Checks the sign. Goes into his windup. Delivers, and ball 4. Good at bat by Williams there as he reaches base for the second straight time. Up next for the Chargers is number 15, Keegan Nichols. In his last at bat, he drew a walk on 4 straight pitches from Hunter. Hunter goes into the stretch and checks the sign. Delivers. First pitch strike. Hunter steps back onto the mound as Nichols checks the sign from the third base coach. Steps in. Hunter checks the signals. Checks Williams at first. Delivers Williams running. Throw down. Williams easily advances to second on a stolen base. So that'll get a runner into scoring position for Nichols. We'll see if he can capitalize and drive it in. Hunter checks the sign and the runner. Pitch and outside for ball 1. Evens the count up at 1-1 for Nichols. Hunter sets. Checks the runner multiple times. Pitch as Nichols hits a weak ground ball to first base, fielded by the first baseman for the second out of the inning, as Williams advances to third on the play. Up next for the Chargers is number 28, Matt Kent, who singled and scored in his first at bat. Hunter sets. First pitch to Kent. Ball 1 outside the zone. Hunter steps back on the rubber. Pitch. Kent takes a swing at it but fouls it off out of play for the first strike of the at-bat. Count is even at 1-1 with Sam Williams on third, trying to score the 4th run of the game for the Chargers. As Hunter looks in for the sign. The pitch. And Kent swings, tips it into the catcher's glove for strike 2. That'll put him down 1-2. See if he can fight back and get a hit. Hunter sets. Pitches. Breaking ball in the dirt as Williams scores, standing up for the 4th run of the game for the Chargers. The Chargers now lead the Knights 4-0 in the bottom of the second. Hunter will be going back into his windup for the rest of the at-bat. Winds up. Pitch to Kent. Ball 3 low. Full count to Matt Kent as he's fought back from a 1-2 count to make it full. Payoff pitch as Kent hits a grounder up to the shortstop, who can't handle it as it rolls into the outfield. That'll be Kent's second single of the game, starting a 2-out rally for the Chargers, as number 20, Trevor Snyder, steps up to the plate for the Chargers. In Snyder's last bat, he flew out to the third baseman for the first out of the inning. Hunter pickoff attempt hits Kent in the arm and sputters off to the first baseline. Kent seems to be alright as Hunter jogs back to the mound. Steps on the rubber. Checks the runner. Delivers as Snyder's first pitch swing. Fouled off to the first base line. And the first baseman can't get to it. That'll put Snyder down in the count 0-1. After that foul ball as Kent returns to first and Hunter returns to the mound. Hunter steps on the mound as Snyder steps into the box. Checks the sign. Checks the runner. Sets. Fires as Kent is running. Throw down in the dirt as Kent slides in head first safely for another stolen base for the Chargers. Lost field. Hunter checks the sign. Pickoff attempt to second at Kent, and he got him. That kills the rally for the Chargers, and going at the end of the second inning, Chargers lead the Knights 4-0. This is CSBN.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back. Leading off for the Knights is number 3, Brandon Birch, as Trevor Snyder is still on the mound. First pitch, ball 1 inside. Snyder steps back onto the rubber. Sets, winds. The pitch, strike. That'll even the count up at 1-1. In Birch's last at bat, he grounded out to Nichols at short for the first out of the inning. Next pitch, fouled off to the third base sign. That will put him down in the count 1-2. As Snyder tries to put him away. Steps on the mound. Working quickly, goes into his windup. Pitch. Ball just inside. Evens the count up at 2-2. As Snyder steps on. Goes into his windup. And pitch. Grounded softly to Corey McRae at third, who fires to Matt Meals for the first out of the third inning. Up next for the Knights is number 2, Alex Hunter, who is also on the mound for the Knights. Other than one hit in the second inning, Snyder has pitched very well, keeping the base runners under control as he delivers to Hunter. First pitch low, ball 1. Snyder sets, winds. Second pitch, ball 2. Quickly down in the count, 2-0 to Alex Hunter. Snyder works quickly. Next pitch, in the zone for the first strike. Back in it with a 2-1 count. Winds. Fires. Ball 3 just outside the zone. Snyder trails in the count 3-0. Looking to. He's only had 1 walk so far as the next pitch in the zone for a strike. Full count to Alex Hunter. Snyder steps on the mound, winds, delivers, and called third strike to Alex Hunter. That is Snyder's second strikeout of the game, and up next for the Knights is number 13, Reggie Hayes. Hayes walked and stole second, but was stranded in his first at-bat as Snyder winds and delivers. First pitch breaking ball for the first strike of the at-bat. Snyder steps back on, winds and delivers. as Hayes hits a nice line drive into the gap, but Matt Kent runs over and makes the catch for the third out of the inning, and going into the bottom half of the third inning, with the Chargers leading by 3 runs, and Carroll is coming to bat, 4 runs. This is CSBN.
This is CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back in the bottom of the third inning, where the Chargers lead the Knights 4-0 as Trevor Snyder leads off the third inning. Hunter's first pitch to Snyder is outside for a ball. Snyder's at bat was ended last inning after Matt Kent got picked off a second. Hunter winds. Second pitch, low for ball 2, excuse me. There is activity in the Norwell bullpen as Hunter winds and delivers. Snyder takes a big swing but can't connect as the count increases to 2-1. Hunter goes into his windup, delivers as Snyder fouls one off behind the backstop, and that'll even the count up at 2-2. As I said earlier, Snyder flew out to third in his first at-bat, and his last at-bat was ended by a pickoff as the next pitch from Hunter is low for ball 3. Hunter has a full count against Snyder as next pitch. Snyder hits a fly ball down the right field line as the right fielder cannot chase it down as it falls into the Charger bullpen as the ball is brought back in. Count remains at 3-2. Hunter gets some dirt out of the rubber and steps back on as Snyder steps into the box, winds and delivers. It's a shot past the shortstop for a leadoff single for the Chargers. Chargers have had 4 or 5 hits so far in this game, all singles. And Luke Brunner comes up next for the Chargers with a runner on first. Brunner singled in his first at bat in the third and had an RBI, but was stranded on third as Hunter's first pitch is fouled off behind the Norwell dugout for strike 1. Hunter is in the stretch. Checks Snyder at first as Brunner steps in. Excuse me. Hunter's pickoff attempt against Snyder is no good as he slides back in safely. And Hunter steps back on the mound. Checks Snyder at first, checks the sign, delivers, and ball 1 to Brunner. Brunner batting from the left side as Hunter steps back on the mound. Checks Snyder at first, winds and pitches. Next pitch in for ball 2. Count is 2-1 to Luke Brunner as Alex Barkus waits on deck. Hunter sets. Pitch to Brunner, fouled off behind the Norwell dugout for strike 2. That'll even the count up at 2-2 as Brunner looks to fight off the next pitch. Snyder remains on first as Brunner checks the sign from the coach. Hunter steps on the rubber. Looks for the sign. Sets. Delivers as Brunner takes a breaking ball in the zone for strike 3 and the first out of the inning for the Chargers. Up to bat now for the Chargers is number 5, Alex Barkus. As the coaches discuss something at third, looks to be a substitution. Looks like it might be a pitching change. coming in for the Knights is number, sorry, I can't tell what number it is. Looks to be number 11, Zach McGrew. And we'll be right back after McGrew takes his warm-up pitch. This is CSBN.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back as new pitcher Zach McGrew finishes his warm-up pitches as Alex Barkis steps into the box. Trevor Snyder remains on first, one out for the Chargers. First pitch from McGrew to Barkis is high for ball one. Barkis checks the sign from the third base coach as McGrew checks Snyder at first. Steps off as Barkis will step out. Meeting on the mound between Detmer and McGrew, discussing what they want to throw to Barkis. Quick meeting as they return to their spots. McGrew checks the sign from Detmer. Sets. Fires, and strike one to Barkis. Evens the count up at 1-1 as McGrew steps back onto the rubber and Barkis steps into the box. McGrew checks the sign, checks Snyder again. Throws as Snyder's running on the pitch as Barkis is swinging. It is fouled off out of play as Snyder returns to first. That'll put Barkis down 1-2 as McGrew looks to get first out of his tenure pitching. Toes the rubber, sets, fires, and gets Barkis on an off-speed pitch. Second out of the inning for the Chargers as number 23, Matt Meals, steps into the box. Meals grounded out to the shortstop in his last at bat, but did drive in a run. Chargers still lead 4-0 as McGrew checks. Snyder's running on the pitch as it's in the dirt. And Detmer struggling to get back. Some confusion on the base pass as Snyder only ends up at second. Could have easily taken the third base as Detmer could not find the ball behind the plate. Meals checks the sign from the third base coach. The base running corner might cost the Chargers a run as the next pitch to Meals is high for ball two. McGrew checks the sign, sets, checks Snyder. Next pitch to Meals is outside for ball three. Meals up in the count 3-0. Won't be swinging unless he gets a real good pitch. McGrew sets, fires, strike one. Count's now 3-1. Meals will be looking to drive in Snyder from second for his second RBI of the game. McGrew sets and delivers. Meals hits a slow foul ball off to the third baseman. That'll even the count up at, or that'll fill the count at 3-2. 2 outs in the inning. Runner on second. Meals steps into the box as McGrew steps onto the rubber. Sets. Fires. Meals fights off a breaking ball and is out by half a step on a nice play by the third baseman, and that'll end the Chargers' third inning. They go into the top of the fourth inning, leading the Knights 4-0. This is CSBN.
This is CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back in the top of the 4th inning. Trevor Snyder remains on the mound, and leading off for the Knights is number 25, Jordan Higgins. Higgins struck out swinging in his last at bat, as Snyder's first pitch is high for ball 1. Snyder works quickly as he goes into his windup, delivers, and Higgins swings and misses. That'll even the count up at 1-1. Snyder steps back on the mound, winds up, delivers, and ball 2 outside the zone. Count is 2-1. Snyder works quickly again, delivers, and ball 3. Higgins up in the count, 3-1. Snyder gonna try and fight back and get back into the count. As he winds up, a pitch, and lined by Higgins into right field as Matt Kent cuts it off and gets it back in quickly to the Chargers. Lead-off single for Higgins starts the 4th inning for the Knights. Up next for the Knights is number 6, James Spera. Spera singled in his last at-bat, but was stranded at second. Snyder steps on the mound, sets, delivers, and Spera first pitch swinging, but does not connect. Strike 1. Snyder taking his time as Spera checks the sign from the coaches. Snyder steps on, checks the runner, sets as Higgins is running. Lewis fires down to second. Brayton Carpenter keeps it in the infield as that is a stolen base for Higgins. Puts a runner into scoring position as the count is 1-1. Lined past Mills at first, and Kent firing back in the infield contains the runner at third base. Runners on the corner for the Knights. Up next for the Knights, number 5, Nathan Allison. Allison flew out to center in his first at bat. Excuse me. Snyder checks the sign from Lewis. Delivers. First pitch strike. Snyder steps back onto the mound.
I think you're supposed to go.
Sets. Checks the runner. Fires. Strike 2. Snyder quickly ahead in the count 0-2 to Nathan Allison as he checks a sign from the coach. Runners remain on the corner. Snyder looks in for the signs. Sets. Delivers, and ball 1, excuse me. Nice stop by Lewis, keeping it in front of him. Snyder steps on the mound. Proves the sign from Lewis. Fires, and Lewis again keeps the ball in front of him. Doing a nice job getting his body in front of it and keeping all the balls from moving to the backstop. Snyder sets, delivers, and pitch fouled off by Allison. Count remains at 2-2. No outs for the Knights as Logan Detmer waits on deck. Snyder delivers. Line shot down to Barkas, who lays out for it but cannot come up with it as the Knights score their first run of the game on a single by Nathan Allison. Chargers still lead 4-1 as Logan Detmer steps in for the Chargers. The Knights. Snyder looks in for the sign. Detmer flew out to left field in his first at bat. Snyder delivers as Detmer is bunting. As it bunt rolls foul just off the first base line. Puts Detmer down 0-1 in the count. Snyder steps back onto the mound as Detmer recovers his bat and checks the sign from the third base coach. Snyder steps on as Detmer steps into the box. Snyder checks the runners, checks the signs. Next pitch to Detmer, he's bunting. As Lewis had a shot to pick Allison off at first, but didn't take it. Evens the count up at 1-1. Detmer here looking to try and get a sacrifice bunt. Move the runners to second and third. Snyder pitch. Gets the bunt down as Snyder fires to third, but the runner is safe. That'll load the bases for the Chargers. That's 4 straight singles for the night. Bases loaded for the Knights, excuse me. Chargers have yet to record an out in the inning, as the Knights have gotten 4 straight singles. Up next for the Knights is number 11, Zach McGrew. Snyder's first pitch is fouled off to the Charger dugout. Snyder steps back onto the mound. Checks the sign. No outs, bases loaded. Second pitch to McGrew. Fouled off this time to the Knight dugout. Quickly down 0-2. As Snyder steps back onto the mound. Blake Jackson warming up in the Charger bullpen. Snyder's next pitch is lined to Corey McRae at third base. He makes a nice catch. Cannot get the double play on Spera, but records the first out of the inning for the Chargers. Up next for the Knights is number 10, Thomas Elliott. Elliott lined out to the shortstop in his first at bat. That was the third out of the second inning as Snyder steps back onto the rubber. Snyder pitch. Lined to Meals at first, but he cannot catch it as it rolls out of bounds. Or foul, excuse me. Snyder steps on, checks the sign, checks the runners, sets, pitch, ball 1 inside. Count is even at 1-1. As Snyder sets again, delivers, and ball 2 high. Puts Elliott ahead in the count at 2-1. As Snyder looks in for the sign from Lewis. Sets. Fires, and it is fouled off. Out of play behind the Charger dugout, evening the count at 2-2. Bases are still loaded for the Knights. 1 out. They trail 4-1. Snyder steps back on the rubber. Looks in. Looks in for a while. Sets. Fires. Got him on strike 3. Strike 3. That'll be the second out of the inning for the Chargers. As the top of the order for the Knights, Brandon Birch comes up. He has grounded out to short and grounded out to second in his first 2 at-bats. Excuse me. Snyder's first pitch to Birch is high for ball 1. Bases remain loaded with 2 outs. Snyder sets and fires. Ball 2. Already behind at 2-0. Looks in for the sign, sets. Fires. Ball 3. In danger of walking in the second run of the inning for the Knights. As he sets. Fires. Ball 4 as Spera comes into the score and the bases remain loaded. Chargers look like they might be making a pitching change. Lewis and Snyder meet at the mound. Seems as if it's just a quick conference between the two. Going to try and let them get out of the inning. Chargers still hold on to a 4-2 lead. There is activity in the bullpen as the runners return to their bases. Snyder regaining his composure, steps on the mound. Up for the Knights is number 9, Justin Brandstatter, batting for Alex Hunter. Brandstrader, excuse me. First pitch, ball 1 low. Snyder sets and looks in for the sign. Checks the runner. Pickoff attempt at first. No success. Snyder seems to be a little bit rattled on the mound. Steps back onto the mound. Looks in for the sign from Lewis. Sets. Fires. Nice play by Corey McRae, who gets the third out of the inning at third. Nice work by McRae at third in the inning, and going into the bottom of the fourth, the Chargers lead the Knights 4-2 with the Chargers coming up to bat. This is CSBN.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back at the bottom of the fourth inning. The Chargers lead 4-2. On the mound for the Knights is number 11, Zach McGrew, returning for his second inning of work, as Lane Lewis steps in for his second at-bat. Lewis struck out, looking to end the first inning in his only at-bat of the game. McGrew's first pitch bounces in for ball 1. Lewis is the catcher for the Chargers. He handles all of the pitchers, as McGrew winds, delivers, and ball 2 high. McGrew quickly down in the count at 2-0. See if he can fight back. As he winds up for the third pitch. Lewis swing, fly down the right field line, and goes foul. The right fielder could not catch up to it. Ball comes back into the infield. Count is 2-1 as Lewis checks his sign at third. McGrew steps on the mound. Goes into his windup. The pitch. Ball 3 just outside the zone. Count is now 3-1. McGrew in danger of walking his first batter. Steps in, or winds up. Ball 4 to Lewis, who runs down to first for a leadoff walk. Up next for the Chargers is number 12, Corey McRae, who lined out to right in his first at-bat. McRae had a nice defensive last inning, making a nice leaping catch and a nice diving stop for 2 outs. First pitch to McRae, showing bunt, but the pitch is high. Ball 1. Lewis stands on first as McGrew steps on the rubber. Checks the runner. Checks the sign. Checks the runner. The pitch. Craig gets a beautiful bunt down the first base line and beats it out as the first baseman pulled his foot off the base. Both runners are safe as Lewis advances to second on the bunt. Runners on first and second. No outs for the Chargers in the bottom of the fourth, as we're at the top of the order with number 2, Sam Williams. Williams has singled and walked and scored both times in his last 2 plate appearances. Excuse myself for all the coughing. I'm finding a bit of a cold. McGrew looks in for the sign. Delivers. The ball 1 high. Williams checks the sign at third, as do the runners. McGrew steps on. Williams steps in. He checks the sign. Pickoff attempt at second. Gets back just in time as McGrew returns to the mound. Takes his time and steps on. Checks the signs from Detmer. Checks the runners. Sets. Checks the runners again. Delivers as Williams hits a shot down the left field line that gets past the left fielder. Lewis rounds third as McCray rounds third, but this is held at third as a RBI double for Williams, his second hit of the game, as Lewis came around to score the 5th run of the game for the Chargers. McCray advanced to third on the play. Up next for the Chargers is number 15, Keegan Nichols, who walked and grounded out to the third baseman in his last 2 appearances. McGrew steps off, decides to go back into the stretch. Nichols checks the signs. McGrew checks in. Pitch. First pitch swing by Nichols. Pops it up to the first baseman, who can't make the catch as it falls foul. That'll put Nichols down to count 0-1 as he looks to continue the scoring attack for the Chargers, looking to add on a couple more runs with no outs and runners in scoring position. McGrew checks the sign. The pitch. Nichols chops one right in front of the base and is thrown at it first by the catcher. The runners have to hold. And that was the first out of the inning for the Chargers. Up next for the Chargers is number 28, Matt Kent, who has singled in both of his appearances. McGrew checks. Fires. First pitch ball. McGrew steps back onto the rubber. Checks the signs from the catcher. Sets. Fires. Kent hits a line drive into the gap, and the center fielder cannot make it a catch as Craig comes in to score and Williams comes in to score for a 2 RBI double for number 28, Matt Kent. He's now 3 for 3 on the day with 2 RBIs. That was Williams' 3rd run scored of the day. He scored every time he got on base. That'll put the Chargers up 7-2 in the bottom of the 4th with 1 out. Trevor Snyder up to bat next for the Chargers with Matt Kent on second. McGrew looks in for the side. Checks the runner, sets. First pitch to Snyder. Lined down left field line. Left fielder makes a nice running catch as Kent has to return to second base for the 2nd out of the inning. Up next for the Chargers is number 11, Luke Brenner, who singled and struck out in his first appearances. McGrew trying to get out of the inning with only 3 runs. Giving up as he looks in and sets. Doors to Brenner. First pitch swing for a strike. McGrew steps back onto the rubber. Looks in. Checks Ken at second. As bounces and hits Brenner as he runs on down to first. Up next for the Chargers is number 5, Alex Barkis. Alex has singled and struck out swinging in his first 2 attempts. Runners on first and second for the Chargers, 2 outs. They lead 7-2. McGrew steps on, looks in, checks the runners, delivers Barkis' first pitch swing as he fouls it off to first. Or third, excuse me. Ball being thrown around, can't get it back to the pitcher as Barkis checks the sign from the third base coach. Steps in as McGrew steps on the mound. Sets. Fires. Barkis swinging it. Can't connect, and he's quickly down 0-2. McGrew steps back onto the rubber. Looks in. Fires. Low in the dirt as both runners advance. Both runners advance to base. Kent to third and Brunner to second. Runners in scoring position for Barkis, who's down in the count 1-2. McGrew delivers as the ball is pitched high, and Kent slides in safely for the 8th run of the game for the Chargers. Brunner advanced to third on the wild pitch. Chargers hold a 6-run lead over the Knights. McGrew a little bit shaken in this inning. He's given up 4 runs as he steps on the mound. Looks in, trying to put Barkis away. The pitch as Barkis fouls one off behind the backstop. The count remains at 1-2. McGrew takes his time as he steps on the rubber. Checks Brunner at third. The pitch. Barkis laid on it. 3rd strike and 3rd out of the inning. The Chargers take an 8-2 lead into the top of the 5th inning with Snyder coming back to pitch. This is CSBN.
This is CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back in the top of the 5th inning. The Chargers lead the Knights 8-2. Reggie Hayes is coming to bat for the Knights as Trevor Snyder remains on the mound for the Chargers. Hayes has walked and flied out to right in his first 2 appearances as Snyder delivers a first pitch strike. Hayes grounds one first at Meals, and Meals will take it himself for the first out of the inning. Up next for the Knights is appears to be number 14, Ashton McCune. Pitch hitting for number 25, Jordan Higgins. Snyder delivers a first pitch strike. Works very quickly as he steps back onto the mound. Second pitch. McCune takes a very weak swing and does not connect, and that'll put him in the hole 0-2 quickly. Takes a sign from the coach as he steps in. Snyder winds up. Pitch just outside the zone for ball 1. Still ahead in the count at 1-2. As he goes into his windup. Delivers and gets him on an off-speed pitch as Lewis tags him out. Chargers throw it around the horn. As Snyder gets it back. As number 6, James Sparrow steps in for the Knights. Sparrow has singled both times he was up. And singles again to right field. As Kent bobbles the ball, but the runner does not advance. Sparrow is now 3 for 3 on the day. Up next for the Knights is number 5, Nathan Allison, who singled in a run in his last at bat. And Snyder looks in for the sign. Pick off attempt. No good. Snyder gets it back. So he steps on the rubber. Looks in for the sign from Lewis. Delivers first pitch, swinging strike. Snyder's worked quickly in this inning. He's already got 2 quick outs. Delivers as Allison hits one to Nichols, who flips it to Brent Carpenter for the 3rd out of the inning. The Chargers coming up to bat, leading 8-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. This is CSBN.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Chargers lead the Knights 8-2. Coming back in the bottom of the 5th, leading off for your Chargers is number 23, Matt Meals. Zach Gruden remains on the mound for the Knights in his 3rd inning of work. His first pitch to Meals is outside for ball 1. McGraw steps back on the rubber. Winds up. The pitch. Meals hits a deep shot to left. That is just short of the warning track as Meals rounds seconds. And the ball goes over the cutoff man's head. Meals could have taken an extra base, but coach held him at second. Nonetheless, a very nice leadoff double by Meals. Up next for the Chargers is number 27, Austin Ward. Pinch hitting for Lane Lewis. Ruger looks in. First pitch. High. Ball 1. McGrew steps back on the rubber as he looks in for the sign. Pitch. Ward swings late. That'll even the count up at 1-1. McGrew steps on. Checks the sign. Checks Meals, sets. Delivers as Ward is late again. That'll put him down 1-2. The runner in scoring position. Drew looks in. Delivers and Ward wears it and he will hustle on down to first. And up next for the Chargers is number 12, Corey McCray. McCray singled and scored in his last at bat. McGrew looks in, checks both runners, delivers as the first pitch to McCray is high for ball 1. McGrew looks in, sets, fires, ball 2 high. McGrew seems to be getting tired as he's allowed a double and a hit batter to start off the 5th inning. He sets, fires in the dirt as Meals advances to 3rd and Ward advances to 2nd. McRae ahead in the count at 3-0. Drew's very rattled right now. He's very erratic this inning so far. He steps back onto the rubber, looks in, delivers to McRae, who takes for ball 4. 4 straight balls to McRae. That'll load up the bases for leadoff hitter Sam Williams, who is 2 for 2 on the day and has scored all 3 times he was on base. The Knights are making a quick pitching change. We'll be right back after the warm-ups.
This is CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back. On the mound for the Knights is number 25, Jordan Higgins. As leadoff hitter Sam Williams steps in for the Chargers. Williams is 3 for 3 on the day with 3 runs scored so far. Or, excuse me, 2 for 2. He walked once. He's got bases loaded. Loaded from Higgins. Ball 1.
Rosh, you won.
Higgins steps back on the mound. In the stretch. First pitch. Shot to the shortstop, who flips to second, but cannot get the double play at first. McRae is out at second as Williams drives in Meals for the Chargers' 9th run of the game. Chargers lead 9-2, as number 14, Ben Kern, steps in for the Chargers. Kern is taking the place of number 15, Keegan Nichols. Runners on first and third, 1 out. Chargers lead by 7. Kern steps in, and Higgins steps on the mound. Checks the runner. Delivers. Ball 1. Higgins steps back onto the mound. Checks the sign. Next pitch. Strike. That'll even the count up at 1-1. Higgins steps back onto the mound. Checks the runners. Pitch. Catcher dropped it as Williams advances to second on the pitch. Count is 2-1. Runners in scoring position for Kern. See if he can capitalize and add on a couple more runs for the Chargers. Higgins sets, fires in the dirt as Ward attempts to score, and he is in there safely for the 10th run for the Chargers. Chargers now lead 10-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Second run of the inning scored by the Chargers as Williams advanced to third on the pitch. Count is Detmer looks in for the sign. Sets and checks Williams at third. Pitch. Kern slaps one to first baseman, who bobbles it but recovers and gets the second out of the inning. Kern drives in Williams for the 11th run of the inning. Chargers lead 11-2. There is mercy rule in high school. It is 10 runs after 5 innings, so if the Chargers score one more run, the game will be over. Up now for the Chargers is number 28, Matt Kent. Faces Higgins for the first time. Kent has has hit 2 singles and a double so far and has scored twice. Second pitch from Higgins is a ball. He trails 2-0. Higgins steps back on the mound as Kent checks the signs. Steps on. Winds up. And delivers. Strike 1 to Kent. 2-1. Kent steps into the box as Higgins steps on. Goes into his windup. Pitch. Ball 3 high. Kent ahead in the count at 3-1. See if he can get another rally going with 2 outs. Higgins winds up. As Kent lines one down right field. And the right fielder makes a nice diving catch for the third out of the inning. Chargers take an 11-2 lead into the top of the sixth inning. We'll be right back. This is CSBN.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back in the top of the sixth inning. Chargers lead the Knights 11-2 as Logan Detmer steps in for the Knights, and we have a new pitcher on the mound, number 25, Blake Jackson. First pitch from Jackson to Detmer is high for ball one. Excuse me. Second pitch from Jackson to Detmer is high for ball two. Jackson quickly down 2-0. Jackson winds it up and pitch. Popped up as Meals cannot track it down over by the Charger dugout. That'll put the count to 2-1. Jackson steps back onto the mound as Detmer steps into the box. Jackson checks the signs. Pitch. Ball three high. Jackson doesn't want to lose him here. Steps back onto the mound. The wind on the pitch. Detmer pops it up behind the plate. And Wayne cannot track it down as it bounces off the backstop. That'll make the count even at 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Detmer recovers his bat, everybody regroups. And Jackson steps back onto the mound. Checks the sign, winds and delivers. And a sharp hit to third, and McCray airmails it after making a nice play, but could not make the throw to Meals at first. That is an error on McCray as Detmer advances the second on the errant throw. And up now for the Knights is number 7, Seth Pritchard, entering the game for Zach McGrew. Jackson looks in for the sign, checks the runner, pitch, first pitch, foul ball. Jackson gets ahead in the count early at 0-1. Steps back onto the rubber. Sets. Pitch. Just outside the zone for ball 1. Evens it up at 1-1. Jackson checks the runners and fires. Softly hit line drive just over the shoulder of Brett Carpenter, who runs it down and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Up now for the Knights is number 10, Thomas Elliott. Elliott struck out swing in his last at bat. Jackson looks in for the sign. First pitch strike. Jackson steps back onto the mound as Elliott steps in, checks the sign, delivers, chopper to McCray at third, who makes the throw this time for the second out of the inning as Detmer advances on the play. McCray made up for his error earlier in the inning. And up for the Knights is number 3, Brandon Birch. Jackson looks in for the sign. Checks the runner. Delivers. First pitch strike. Doing a nice job of getting ahead early in the count. We'll see if he can finish off Birch here as he steps back onto the mound. Runner on third. Pitch as Birch fouls it off behind the backstop. Puts him down quickly, 0-2. Jackson gets the ball back as Burch returns to the box. Jackson steps onto the mound, looks in, fires, and strike 3 gets a swinging strike, and the Chargers will be coming to bat in the bottom of the 6th. They lead 11-2. This is CSBN.
This is CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back in the bottom of the 6th. The Chargers lead 11-2. Leading off for the Chargers is number 25, Blake Jackson, facing number 25, Jordan Higgins. Jackson taking the place of Trevor Snyder. Diggins winds. First pitch, ball 1 high. Chargers just need one more run to apply the mercy rule as Higgins winds, fires, ball 2 just outside. Jackson quickly ahead in the count at 2-0. Higgins steps back onto the mound. The pitch, Jackson hits a fly ball in the center as it is caught on a diving catch by the center fielder on a nice diving play. 2 straight diving catches by the Knights outfield as number 26, Brett Peters, steps up to the plate for the Chargers. Peters is yet to appear in the game. He's pinch hitting from Brenner. Higgins winds the pitch. Low in the dirt for ball 1. Higgins steps off the mound, steps back on. A wind up pitch. And Peters pops one up to the pitcher, or the catcher, but he cannot make the play, and it is called foul. Detmer could not make the catch, and the ball rolled foul. Now, even the count at 1-1. Peters will take a practice swing, checks the signs, and step back into the box. Higgins steps back onto the mound. Goes up into his windup. The pitch. Ball 2 just outside the outside corner. And steps back on. He works a little bit slower than the others. Winds up. Pitch. Ball 3 high. It'll put Peters ahead at 3-1. Number 24, B.J. Beverly, waits on deck for the Chargers. Higgins winds. Pitch. And ball 4 to Peters as he runs on down to first.
Let me just do this and not do that.
And up next for the Chargers is number 24, B.J. Beverly. He is pinch hitting for number 5, Alex Bartkiss.
So fast.
Higgins checks in for the sign. Pitch. Strike 1 to Beverly. Beverly stays in the box. Steps on the mound. Pitch in the dirt, and Peters advances to second on the wild pitch. Count is even at 1-1 to Beverly. Chargers need one more run to apply the mercy rule as Higgins steps back on the mound. Wind in the pitch. Ball 2 to Beverly. Count is at 2-1 as Peters stands on second. And Higgins looks in for the sign. The pitch. Beverly swings and winds it to right field as another diving catch is made by the Norwell right fielder, and Peters is forced to hold at second. Up next for the Chargers is number 29, Isaac Wagner, pinch hitting for Matt Meals. Higgins steps on the rubber. The pitch. Outside for ball one. Wagner steps back into the mound, or box. Higgins steps on the mound. Sets. Pitch. Ball too high. Wagner ahead early in the count at 2-0. As Higgins steps on the mound. Pitch. Ball 3 high. Wagner will most likely be taking the pitch as the count is 3-0. Peters still stands on second. Higgins looks in for the sign. The pitch. Ball 4 to Wagner as he runs on down first. Second walk of the inning for Higgins, as Lane Lewis will come in to bat for the Chargers. Lewis has struck out and walked so far. Peters on second and Wagner on first as Higgins delivers. First pitch, strike to Lewis. Lewis steps in the box as Wagner steps on, or Higgins steps on the mound. Sets and fires. Lewis takes a big swing but does not connect and leaves quickly in the hole at 0-2. Corey McRae stands on deck for the Chargers. Runners take their leads. Higgins checks and fires as Lewis swing strike for the third out of the inning. The Chargers take an 11-2 lead into the top of the 7th inning, where Blake Jackson will look to close out the game. This is CSBN.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back in the top of the 7th inning. The Chargers lead the Knights 11-2 as number 9, Justin Brandstrader, steps in for the Knights. First pitch from Jackson, swing strike. Jackson working quickly, getting ahead. Goes into his windup, and the pitch is sharp grounder to McRae, who throws on to Wagner at first for the first out of the inning. Nice play by McRae there. Other than his error earlier, he's played a pretty good game at third. Up next for the Knights is number 23, Colin Torson. First pitch from Jackson is high for ball 1. As he steps back on the mound. Second pitch to Torson is in the zone for strike 1, or for the first strike. Count is even at 1-1 as Jackson goes into his windup. Second strike. It'll put him ahead at 1-2.
Lane was up. How he drove the ball. We played that really good championship out there in Slovenia. We'd have had him.
Jackson on the mound. Winds up.
We win that game. We got that.
Pitch just outside the zone. That'll even the count up at 2-2. And the third pitch, and the next pitch from Jackson is swung on and missed by Torson for the second out of the inning. Up next for the Knights is number 25, Jordan Higgins. Higgins has struck out and walked so far. First pitch from Jackson is up for ball 1. Jackson steps back onto the mound. The pitch popped up Out of play for strike one. Count is even at 1-1. Jackson steps back onto the mound. Winds up in the pitch. Strike two. He's ahead in the count at 1-2. We'll be looking to finish the game off here. Steps on. Wind up in the pitch. Ball two. Evens the count at 2-2. Steps off the mound to take a breath. Steps back on. Higgins steps in the box. Jackson winds the pitch. Shot to Nichols at short, who throws on to Wagner, and that will conclude the game. It was an 11-2 win for the Chargers. I will be back with your post-game show.
This is CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And we're back. The Chargers were victorious 11-2 over the Knights of Norwell, getting strong pitching performances from Trevor Snyder and Blake Jackson, only allowing 2 runs. Charger offense was led by Sam Williams with 3 hits and 3 scored runs. Also got strong contributions from Matt Kemp. Stay tuned with us for our next game, which is here at Dean R. Gorsuch Athletic Complex tomorrow at 4:30 as the Carroll Varsity Chargers take on Cherubusco. This has been CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
You've been listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.